So there's the mic again. Finally. Welcome to Pieces of Bad Paints. Oh gosh. So the allergies are really bad here in Oklahoma, and we're both kind of zoned out. So it's been an interesting morning. But we're good. We're pushing ahead. Yep. So anyway, welcome to Pieces of Bad Paints. I'm Pat. That's Kristen over there. We love to make things colorful. It's what we do around here. We make things colorful, even when it feels like your brain is oozing down the back of your throat.
Ewies.
It's
They don't want to know that.
ah, there's nobody watching right now, so might as well. I don't know. You hear that? The whole be completely real and honest and stuff, and that's definitely part of real, where it's like, oh man. And I'm not the only one that had a
No,
headache
I'm there
today.
with you. I just
Well, like there's a couple other streams I was watching this morning, news streams that they were talking about their allergies were kicking their butt. So tis the season. Tis the season. Tis the time to get these shells finished up. It took me a little while to get used to having this old cloth for my brush versus the paper towels. But man, it's saving me a lot of money in paper towels. Be real careful with these ones. We're really just trying to gently brush over the top of them once they've got the wash and everything in there. Same thing with our barnacles here. We want to just give them a little bit of kiss. Just enough to bring them out again. Yeah, looking good. Looking good. All right. We'll just put just a tiny little bit of color on these back here. We don't want to necessarily get them too bright. Matter of fact, that other one may be fine, because they're behind and shadowed, so you don't necessarily need them to be blinging out. Hey, it's Josh Sylvester. How are you, my friend? Good to see you. A little bit back on this little cloth here. Alrighty. So next thing we need to do is build up some washes. We're going to do two different washes here. One is going to be this umber, the raw umber. We need to do that on these shells so that we can finish them out. Alright, those other ones are done. And then we also need to do all of this stuff down here. His tactical rock. Somebody said that on one of the other miniature guys I follow. I don't remember who it was that said that. I was like, and I thought that was one of the funniest things I ever heard. Tactical rock, because it's true. They're sculptors are always trying to find a way to kind of like get some movement and flow, and like the standard is the tactical rock. When all else fails and you can't get any movement, put his foot up on a tactical rock, it'll be alright. That's goofy. I'm good. Good to see you. Oh, and hello, Kristen. Didn't see her there.
Hello.
Yeah, she's down there coloring away. I keep threatening to get her a camera over there, but she says no. Gotta have the tactical rock, exactly. I had to pause. I don't even remember which one it was, but it was one of the other people that do this stuff, and I thought it was so funny. I had to pause what I was doing, the whole video, and come back because I was just like, "Oh my god, that's funny." As it's so true. You can always tell when they kind of like, "Oh, what are we gonna do? How are we gonna make this guy look like different? Oh, we'll put him on a tactical rock." All right, so the next, we want to do just a little bit of this burnt sienna, but kind of keep it to where the sea floor is. We want to give it kind of a reddish hue when as it dries, and this will give it that reddish brown. And as that dries, he'll look great. All right. Okay, so now I'm gonna throw in some metallics. Maybe do something fun with the ball and the back end of that staff. Trident. Alright, so this is the rough iron. I'm definitely going to add that to the shield. And we may come and put a little bit of a edge highlight of the Iron Warriors on that, just to kind of, or even a dry brush. I think we're going to go with the edge highlight first, and we'll see how that looks. If that doesn't look like it's enough, then we'll dry brush it. I don't want to make it look too shiny. Goodness. Excuse me. My silly cats. Got hair everywhere. There we go. That's better. Turn up that light. That helped a lot. That helps me too. It's better if it's really bright. My eyes are getting old. I think sometimes when I'm trying to turn it off, I turn it down and now I forget to turn it back up.
That'd be easy to do.
Yeah. I think I'm going to do this. Necron Alistair got that he wants me to do kind of off air. And record it and then make a full on like video of it. Okay.
That's fine.
So we're gonna make his staff a couple of different things. I thought it had a texture on it, but it doesn't. It's just the whirls from the float. My head can't think. 3D printer. We're gonna go with Iron Warriors here. And I want to make that a handle some other color. Maybe the Vermilion. That bright orange red. Josh says, "Oh man, I forgot about your stab wound. Bet it feels awful. I stabbed a hole in my thumb webbing, just a little lower than that one, with a rusty screwdriver. Oh God, oh, Oh man, that just made my toes curl. Oh yeah, hurt like the Dickens is right, bro. That oh man. Oh, a screwdriver. Cool. Luckily, like this is one of my knives, so it was like I keep them clean and sharp, so wasn't a big deal. It's already healing up pretty good, but it hurt. Yeah, it doesn't feel great. It's, uh,
No.
well, 10 out of 10 do not recommend here for sure. Okay, so we're gonna come back and probably bronze those rings. I want to go ahead and put Iron Warriors underneath it, and then I do think I'm probably gonna do something with that ball, something fun. Maybe with both of them. We got one here and one here. We'll pull out we'll white them, and then we'll pull out an ink, and we'll put some ink color on it to make it kind of fun. Sylvester says, popping open old cans of paint during the pandemic. Oh yeah. Some of the lids were rusted shut. Lessons were learned. Yeah, that'll definitely do it. Goof. Golly, it's just still making my hand kind of go angry about it. It's squirrely thinking about the whole thing. God. Alright, so again, this is just a gentle edge highlight of our Iron Warriors. Just on the edges of this rough iron. That kind of look, it'll kind of give it that, pitted look, or the edges of it are a little bit filed down or sharpened, or however you want to read it. It's one of those weird things that, like, you can't really tell from a distance when you're looking at it, but, like, when you get up close on it and see it, you can, like, oh, I see. But it makes a huge difference to the situation. Edge highlighting is another one of those tricks that when you learn how to do it and get good at it, it helps your overall modeling abilities. It does make it look more defined edge. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and it's so small of a difference that it's almost at a glance you don't see it. You have to kind of go circle back around and look, and then you're like, oh yeah, that's cool. It's been like a whole millstone. Yeah, exactly. Kind of like, it's been used. It's been. I want that rough iron to look like that's what they put on there, but then the millstone or what, bottle, and you can even, like, if you had like a bigger surface, you could kind of pit it a little bit more. I'd probably, if I wanted to do that, I want to get a much smaller brush for this particular model. He's very tiny. He's not very big. But if I were doing like a big cauldron or whatever, I would want to pit it, and you just kind of like tip it in a couple areas. Definitely, I think it makes it look a little bit more metallic too, and gives that the iron a better color. Okay, let's get our bronze out, and we're gonna knock out his helmet and some more of this staff. And then I gotta make a decision on the handle and a couple other things. Oh, and I forgot to grab the color for their eyes. I have a special color I bought just for their eyes. It's like a opalescent white. It's fun.
Where'd you leave it?
Oh, it's over here next to me.
Oh, okay.
I didn't put it on the little doobly doo or grab it. I'm just gonna have to grab it here in a second. I'll put it in a doobly doo later.
I thought maybe it's in the kitchen or something. I was gonna go get it.
No, I don't keep my paint in the kitchen anymore.
Well, if you just brought it in from the store and laid it on the table, maybe.
Oh, well. No, I can't go to an art store without you because you're gonna want something. Unless I'm there specifically to get something for children. So no, you would know if I bought a new color. No, I've had it for a while. This is the only thing I really use it for. Are these guys? At least for now. I'm sure I'll come up with something with it eventually. Something else to do with it eventually.
Right.
Oof. I don't want to knock his little spear. All right. Whew. Heck yeah. I'll do these little... These rings will be easy. Okay. And this little bit right here, we'll do this in bronze. I'll have to find my Maw of Sekolah, and we'll have to get that one done now that we have him done. We're going to need it anyway. It's a fun model. It's a two-headed shark.
Oh yeah, I remember that one. It is a really fun model. What's it called?
The Maw of Sekolah.
The Maw of Sekolah.
Yeah, Sahuagin worship this thing. It's technically a water god, a water elemental god.
I remember that.
And so they worship it, and it.
Oh, the two-headed shark is the god?
Well, yes, but what you fight if you ever have to fight one. If they summon one, you're fighting an aspect. So it's called the Maw of Sekolah. So the model I have of it is the Maw. It's not the actual god. It's the representation.
Of.
Exactly.
Got it.
Okay. Let that opalescent go. Oh no, iridescent purple. Pearl. That's what they called it. It's fun. I love this paint. This paint. We're gonna do that. We'll use that for his eyes. I really gotta figure out what I want to do with that spear. I'm kind of liking the idea of that vermilion. That's a really bright red. That'd be fun. Bright reddish orange. Because we definitely want it to be something that's going to stand out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I used to, in my youth, I would paint these things like all metal. I would have painted this whole rod of metal color.
Right.
But as I've gotten older, I like the idea of, like this obviously the part that's the handle. If you know weapons, you know how spears and stuff work. The middle and front sections are where you're grabbing it to use it, and the back is a counterbalance. So you kind of start going, okay, well, this is a handle, so why don't we make the handle a different color? And we can give our model another round of color to help kind of balance out what we're doing. So like as it moves around, it has a better overall color to it. Okay. Let's get a little bit of that wash going. So we've got to do a vermilion wash on this coral piece here. And we're going to come back and we'll do a dry brush on top of it to finish it out. But this will play, the handle will play well with this. Since we're using the vermilion wash on the coral, this being pure vermilion down here, just darkened from the black undercoat, will be great. It'll work together because they're close. All right, while we wait on that, we've got a little bit of edge highlighting to do on his vest. This step here is what really sells this coral look to these armor pieces. I'd call them life vests because I'd call these my surfer bros. Because they look like surfer dudes.
Surfer bros.
Surfer bros. And this is like the leader surfer bro. Stitch is the leader.
That kind of tracks.
Josh says, all metal weapons made with care by Global Cutlery USA. Oh, shit. We could start putting the brown acrylic ergonomic design and start calling them Cutcos. Chicago Cutlery. That's funny. Now I want to get an orc with one of the there's an orc that has like a vacuum gun. And when I get it and make his vacuum gun say Kirby, we'll just do like a whole bunch of door-to-door salesman spoofs. God, that's terrible. Although Global's that's a big time company. That's not a door to door. I think you can buy Globals at Williams Sonoma.
I bought some at Bed Bath & Beyond before they went out of business.
Josh agrees with the idea of the different door-to-door salesmen as miniatures. That would be hysterical. It'd be almost as good as that guy who's doing the Hank Hill Marines. Or the King of the Hill Marines. God, they're funny. It's all Space Marines done up as characters from King of the Hill. Again, you got to be careful on this edge highlighting stuff. Don't get it on where you've already been working. And if you do, you got to be quick. Get your water on there. Get it cleaned up. Or you're gonna have a bad time. The good thing is this pink is so close to the Naples yellow that we put on our barnacles that if you get a little over paint, you're probably not going to notice. But if you do, you can always come back and touch those barnacles up again. Alright, this one. Now we got to do is gilded underwear. Josh says, can you imagine how much it pains me that my wife sold Cutco as a teenager and still talks them up like they're the greatest knives you could own? Lifetime warranty. Lord help me. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, alright, so listen, if you were some elderly guy, elderly gal, and you were looking to buy like a knife, and you weren't really like a professional chef or something, it's not a bad thing to buy. I once got this guy gave me it was like a sandwich knife spreader thing from Cutco, and it was actually kind of useful because it was shaped like a spatula kind of. Like a rounded cake spatula almost at the tip. It was like fat, almost like a paddle or something. And then it was serrated on one side and just smooth on the other.
Nice. And
so you could use it to like cut the bread. You could use it to put the mayo and stuff on the bread or whatever condiment you wanted. It had some thought behind it. And I was like, oh wow, that's pretty cool. And it was pretty dang useful. I lost it in the divorce. But it's pretty useful. So, I mean, there's some good things for it. But yeah, no, as a chef, it is kind of where it's like, no. I'm going to go ahead and get a Shun. They also have a lifetime warranty.
Right.
I have a Shun I could send back right now because it's got a chip on it. But I won't because I love it. I kind of like its chip. It's kind of got a personality now. We actually call it Chippy. Josh back again says, for sure, I don't think they're bad, but they're so expensive. And yes, you're right. The other utensils are great. We have some spoons and stuff that are nice. Yeah, I mean, for what they aren't like what you're paying. I always felt like they weren't you know. But you don't have to maintain them like you do like a higher grade knife. Like if you were gonna get a Shun or get a Wusthof or yeah, even a Dick or whatever. Like there's some maintenance required to those that you just simply you don't have that maintenance level on a Cutco. They pretty much stay sharp until you're dead. Alright, we get these little bracelets here. A little bit of metal shining right there will be great. We got several of these things, so we're going to start picking them out. I love this iridescent bronze. It's so smooth of a paint, and it goes on in like one coat, and that's, I mean, occasionally I have to come back and do another, but very rarely, as long as I don't get it too thin. And one down here on his ankle. And there's that one that was made by the glue line. We're going to do that up too, just so it hides that where I broke his ankle. It's, yeah, the glue kind of smushed out, but it smushed out in almost a perfect ring.
Oh, nice.
Right, so you just paint it and it looks like an ankle bracelet, and we're good to go. No stressing. All right, we're gonna
Accessorizing.
we're flowing like water today, just rolling, rolling, rolling. I love these like the last day or so on a model. That's when it really kind of.
Everything just comes together.
Well, yeah, and it starts going rolling right off each other. You get a lot more done more quickly, and I guess the more quickly is wrong. It would be, or maybe it isn't. I don't know. More quick is wrong, so maybe it is more quickly with better expedience. We'll just go around the issue. I'm really liking my choice for Vermilion here. We'll have to figure out what we want to do with the baubles. So we got a bauble here and a bauble in the middle. It's starting to look like that's going to be our last thing we got to worry about, which is awesome. Yeah, that red looks great. Really helps pull the whole model around. Is that okay? Josh says, "Is that handle part of the model or a tool?" It is a tool. So yeah, they clamp down on the little deal.
Yeah, fun question because those are neat.
Yeah, these are neat. I have two sizes. I have this one for the smaller models, and then I have one that's for bigger models, which I don't know, the bigger one seems kind of awkward a lot of times when I'm using it. I'm still kind of getting used to it. But yeah, they're helpful. They're definitely helpful. It says, that's so Bob Ross, broken ankle and some good glue squished out. That's okay. We have a friendly little anklet. Exactly. It really, if you're gonna fix them, sometimes, if you have something break, that is the best way to do it. Is to take that Bob Ross approach and be like, well, let's just turn it into a happy little whatever, you know. In this case, being the bracelet, the anklet, it works out. Because, I mean, what surfer dude isn't wearing an anklet? Honestly. Especially if you're like, I don't know, the Patrick Swayze of the surfer cruise.
Right.
For those of you who remember Old Point Blank, you'll get that one.
Gotta look the part.
Right? Wasn't that Brody?
Surely you're not asking me.
No, I'm not asking you. I'm asking that out loud. She's really terrible with movies and names and actors and names and people that she met 5 minutes ago and names. People she's known her whole life and names. Just names. But we love her to death. She remembers my name, which makes me feel really special.
Oh, goodness.
No, you're going to make me cough. You're going to make me cough. Oh. Yes, the real point break. Yep, yeah. I don't know. I didn't even see the other one to have an opinion, so I don't know. But yeah, Keanu Reeves and Patrick Swayze were so great in that movie together that you kind of just. I'm surprised they tried to remake that one, because it's both of them that sell that like. It's a great movie. I used to love watching that movie. Like when you're sitting at home sick or whatever. It was a good movie for that. Alright, so this is just our little dry brush. We're just going to try to drop a little dry brush on here. You really want to get this guy got pretty pink. I don't need it like 100% pink, but we need it. Yeah, we want it pretty frosty pink. This looks great. Josh says, oh, my wife is terrible with names too. I can't ask her anything about a song, titles, movie titles, artists, players on team, etc., etc., etc. Yeah, I don't know. It's pretty funny. Her son has, Kale, the boy that's hers. So we have 3 boys. One of them is mine that I made, and one of them, or 2 of them are mine that I made, and one of them is her one that she made. And we both claim them now. All of them as one big family. Anyway, all that higamaroo. You can definitely tell that the middle boy inherited that from his mother.
Like, who knew that was genetic, right?
Right.
But apparently, it's genetic.
Well, and like, he's better if it's something he's interested in, he'll remember. But if it's not, he's definitely not the guy to ask.
If it's something that matters, I remember. Like, it took me a little while to learn my students' names, but I always knew their names better than you did. You're like, oh, and you'd rattle off the nickname, and I'd tell you what their names actually were.
Yeah. That's because I didn't have time to learn all their names.
Yeah, but see, like, that's where the space in my brain went. And so, I don't know who actors and actresses are.
Admittedly, by the time they got to your class, they were already through my class.
Yeah.
So there were a lot less of them.
There were less.
Because a lot of them did not make it through my class. Josh did. Josh made it through both our classes.
My brain power is limited, so I definitely saved it for people who were in my class.
Oh yeah, that's why, like, this used to happen in the halls all the time. I'd be walking down the hall, and some student would stop me, and they'd want to talk to me, and I'd be like, who's your instructor? And they'd tell me, and I was like, you need to go ask them. Quit wasting my time. And people get really mad at me, and I'm like, man, listen, no, because, like, I have time for the students that I have in my class right now.
Right.
Like that's you need to ask the instructor that is in charge of your class because he has time for you right now. But then like instructors would start sending people over to my class to ask me stuff just to get them in trouble.
That's mean.
Yeah, we won't mention names. He says I didn't actually. Well, yeah, you passed, but you went through. You didn't go through her class. I don't think she was teaching that level when you were.
No, I think maybe I saw some extern paperwork. I don't know.
I didn't make it to guard or restaurant. You didn't make it to guard. I thought you were in guard. Yeah, tripping.
Right.
I don't know. I taught so many classes.
There's
It's so
a lot
hard
of
to
people
remember.
and they get all just really blurry.
Ooh, got a little white in that little joint. Let me get that out of there. Here we go. Alright, we'll give that white a second to dry up. And then we're going to hit it with something fun. I'm not sure what, but we're gonna do some sort of color. I don't want to make it blue. I don't really want to make it purple. We can do like a green maybe. Really bright green. Ooh, maybe yellow and green. That'd be interesting. Alright, so this is interesting. So we're going to take these two different colors, and these are inks, so they're going to be a little... so the last class I had with you was menu planning, and then Cookery 2, or whatever it was called back then. Huh. Yeah, I mean, you would know, man. I don't remember. A lot of... we had a lot of different students, so it kind of gets hard to remember who made it where and what. I run into people on the street and they're like, "Oh, chef, I had you for da 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 da," and I don't even remember them sometimes. And it really, that's those ones that really bug me. It's like when I can't remember somebody. Even if it's just your nickname that I remember.
Right.
Okay, so we're just touching that green in a couple places. We're not trying to make the whole thing green. We're just trying to make parts of it green. Because we're going to put yellow on it as well. To kind of give it like a multiple toned effect. Alright, let that dry for just a second. And then we'll add the yellow to it. And we got to do his eyeballs, and then that guy should be done skidoodles. Which means tomorrow we'll be moving on to one of these projects for the Elden Ring stuff, which is going to be super fun. Alright, now we're going to put the yellow over the whole thing. And let the green kind of bleed through it. And like I said, it's ink, so when it dries, this particular ink, it's Indian ink, so when it dries, it will be shiny. So the baubles will stay glossy looking, which is a fun bonus here. The yellow is always so flaky. But it looks good. When it dries, it looks great. Flaky or no. I mean, now I'm just kind of sucking out the little excess ink here. If it still looks like it needs to have more taken out, or the color's too deep in there or dries, you can always run like a little tiny bit of black in there with a really, really thin, small brush. And that'll do the trick. Okay. Alright. All that's left to do with this guy is paint his base.
Yay!
Paint that black line. We can call him good. 52 minutes, 51 seconds. Perfect deal. This is that's cool. I haven't played the game, but I've seen it and it's very pretty. God, man, it is gorgeous. Like it's the character design is very, very good. They did it sometimes you see a game and like they reskin this or they reskin that and you're kind of fighting the same guy or whatever. But with this one, all the character designs are very unique, and how they move is unique, and what they do is unique. But the look of them, they all have a similar look, so they seem like they've come from the same world, which to me is super important. Alright, I'm going to just throw this black base on here. Call this sucker good. This one's got those weird striations in the base. I think I got a hair in the tank when I did this one. Oh, and almost forgot to do those little eyes. Don't forget those.
Don't forget the eyes.
Right? Especially because like this paint's so cool. You can see it shining down there. It's so shiny. Hey, hello, friend. How are you, friend? Good morning to you. Well, in the afternoon from us, but morning to you. Okay, so very carefully drop his little fish eyeball right in there. Ah! See, my hand started shaking on that one. If you mess up, that's why luckily this is all dried. And get in there before it gets too too far ahead of us. Got a little off on this one too. The eyes are always the hardest part. There we go, that's a little better. It says miserable, got 4 exams today. Oh man, I hope you got plenty of sleep, my dude. That's the only thing I can say. You want to make sure you get plenty of sleep. What are your exams in? At least I can watch your stream though. Absolutely, appreciate you coming by. What are you? What are your exams in? If you don't mind us asking. English, math, biology, and physics. Oh, the classics. Brutes. Well, hopefully you got all studied up and you're ready to go, right? I'll do another round of those inks. Somebody from Fort Lauderdale. I don't know anybody in Fort Lauderdale. Sometimes you got to do this step a couple of times. To get it to take right. Yeah, we got to figure out which one of these Elden characters we're going to do next. I'm really thinking I want to do this Malekith. He looks so cool. But the girl looks great too, Melania. Both really nice models. But the Malekith, the company that did the printing, printed it in a really high quality resin. So I'm really excited to, I'm really kind of excited to use it. I'm still not happy with these eyes. I'm going to try and start this all the way over. Or at least bury it down far enough where we can get a good look, a good start. I'll change my brush. Should have done that in the first place. My own fault. In here with my big old fat brush. Math and physics will not be fun. Yeah. Well, the only good thing about math is that math is always exactly what it is. There's no subjectiveness to it really. It also doesn't care about your feelings at all. It's so brutal. Well, good luck, my friend. I think you'll do all right. Just take a deep breath and do your best, and the sun will come up tomorrow, and that's all you can really do. Oh yeah, there we go. Should have gone with this little brush earlier. I was being a fool, using the wrong tool. There we go. Now that eye looks good, yeah. All right. I'm digging that guy. All right. Oh. That's why you keep looking. Almost missed this cuff. All right. And there's our little Steechy Sahuagin Baron, looking pretty slick. He looks great right up next to the other style.
Yeah, I love the color contrast. He's so bright.
But also he matches, and this is the other style of Sahuagin. So they all kind of match.
He definitely has leader vibes. That's
yes.
Awesome.
Yeah, he's a leader for sure. Yeah. That was exactly what we wanted. Just him to look like the leader. So fantastic. Also, okay, where's that Malakath? Let's take a look at that real quick. And if you'll let us take a look at your pretty colors, pretty coloring. If you'll let everybody take a look. Alright. Yeah, so.
The other side looks better.
It looks great.
I have one of the buildings done over there today.
Right. No, it's looking really, really good. It's looking great. It's awesome. Okay, so. Yeah, we got a big old Malakath here. This model is going to be huge. So that's part of his torso. Look at this honking sword. That thing's massive. So cool. Super exciting. Anyway, so come check that out. We're gonna get started on cleaning up and assembling this model tomorrow. So come and check that out. If you're a fan of Elden Ring, come join that. Good luck to Fran today on all his exams. And good luck to Josh with the Cutco knife stuff. And goodness. Anyway, I hope you guys had a great time. I had a great time. And I think Kristen had a great time. You too.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to see you guys tomorrow. And we're going to roll you right here with this exit stuff. And you have a great day. Bye.